What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. I'm Daniel, and in this video we're talking about how you can get the most value out of the board games you buy. I got 3 pro tips for you in this video, so stick around to the end to get all of the goodness. Number 1, buy one game at a time. I know this is not what you want to hear, but if you want to get your games played, you're going to increase your chances exponentially by just buying one game. I have had the experience too many times to count of buying 3, 4, 5 games at one go. And 9 times out of 10, I end up selling 2 or 3 of those games from that bundle because I just don't get around to playing them. The excitement of that board game purchase wears off and I just get that junky feeling I want to buy more games again rather than playing the games that I had previously purchased. So if you want to make that board game buying high count, just stick to one game and you're going to be way more likely to play it often, and enjoy the heck out of it. It's more than once that I've been so rewarded by this strategy. I remember going into a board game cafe with my wife and we saw a copy of Tiny Towns there, and I heard a lot of great things about Tiny Towns. And the thing was that at this board game cafe, it was fairly expensive to buy the game, and it's an inexpensive game if you buy it from one of the online retailers. But Sarah insisted that we get it from there anyway, so I overpaid for the game. But you know what? Because it was the only game that I purchased, I got that thing to the table so often. I took it wherever I went for a week or 2 after that. And it was a great game, and because it was the only game for me to be excited about at that time, it hit the table so much, and I got so much value out of that game, even though I overpaid for the thing. So that is the power of buying one game at a time. 2, buy lightweight family games. I know, again, we want to buy really complex, meaty, heavy games, and I'm not saying that you can't do that, but if you want to increase your chances of playing more games and getting more value out of the games that you own, I urge you to make sure that you are purchasing lightweight family games, because you are going to be able to get those games to the table with more people more often than heavy, complex games. The games that I've gotten the most value out of, and I'm talking about sort of a plays to cost ratio, are lightweight family games. Luxor, Tiny Towns, Between Two Castles, Mad King Ludwig, Century Spice Road. These are the games that after I purchased, I was able to get to the table often because they presented high fun value with little effort. Yes, heavier games are supremely rewarding. And when you get good at those games, the reward lasts a lot longer. After a really tight game of Russian railroads and you've beaten your friends, that high is going to last you a day or 2 at least. The high from family games is not going to last you as long, but the immediate high is pretty good too. And the people around the table are going to experience that immediacy and want to play those games again. There's something great and quick hitting about family games. And let's face it, you're not always going to be playing games with your game group, and so it's always good to have games on hand that you can play with your spouse, with your family, and with your friends who aren't into board games. And these games are going to get played a lot. And there are plenty of games that fit in this category that you are going to enjoy just as much as a gamer than as a new person to the party. So before buying a game, think about how often you can get it to the table, and lightweight and family games, you're gonna have a much better shot. Number 3, make sure you read the rules and then bring that game with you or get it to the table as often as you can within the first 2 weeks of owning that game. If you wait longer than that, the allure of the game and the high of buying that game is gonna wear off and you're not gonna be as enticed to get it to the table. If you don't know the game by reading the rules, then it's gonna be harder for you to get it to the table because you're gonna say, I bought a new game. People are going to say, do you know how to play it? You're going to say, no, not really, and then you might not get to the table. I want to share an example of a time that I broke 2 of the rules on this list. A couple Christmases ago, I bought Taverns of Tiefenthal and Quacks of Quedlinburg at the same time. And guess what? I have never played Taverns of Tiefenthal. I'm so excited to play this and review this for you on this channel, but up until this point, I have not played it. And you know why? Because the excitement of buying these 2 games together lasted long enough for me to learn and to play Quacks of Quedlinburg, which I'm very happy I did. It is a fantastic game. But here's what happened. I had Taverns of Tiefenthal, and I punched it out, and I was getting ready for a game night, and I didn't make time to read the rules. And we ended up not playing Taverns of Tiefenthal because people knew how to play Quacks of Quedlinburg already, and so we played that instead, and I never got Taverns to the table. So make sure you know how to play the games that you're buying, or that you learn how to play them really quickly after you do, so that you can get them to the table right away, and then you don't have to ride the high of the purchase. You can ride the high that the game provides and have a lot of fun with it. There we have it, party people. I know these tips are really straightforward, but they are super hard to implement. But you are going to be rewarded if you take these tips to heart. The next time you're going to buy board games, try it. Buy one game, make sure it's a family weight game, maybe a little heavier to keep yourself interested, and then read the rules and get the game to the table as quickly as you can, and you are going to have the best shot of playing that game a ton and getting the most value out of that game. And then rinse and repeat. Now, one last bonus tip for you. The more you put into practice this style of purchasing and learning how to play board games, these skills are transferable to heavier games. And so the easier it's going to be for you to buy one heavy game, sit down and learn it really thoroughly and well, and get it to the table with the right people, your game group potentially, or what have you. But these skills can scale up, and you can get more games played more often. So I hope these tips do you well, and I hope if you like this video, you'll subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, and until the next time I see you, have the best day.